Justice K.G. Balakrishnan, former Chief Justice of India, talking on betting, gambling, lotteries. What next? Prostitution. Where does India stand? Where should India stand?
Mr. Amit and other distinguished people who participate in this seminar. Betting and gambling, usually we call both, there is not much difference in betting and gambling. So this term is synonymously used, betting and gambling. In India, the gambling is prohibited, except in the state of Goa. Public Gambling Act is, there is Public Gambling Act is there, right from the very old act. The gambling is prohibited, but some sort of betting is taking place in various parts of the country. But we can have in penal code also, gambling in public places causing inconvenience to others is prohibited. Is cause inconvenience, it is an offense punishable under the penal code. The betting, we call betting, we hear the betting in cricket and all various, in cards play, there is betting. The cards play, there is an earlier Supreme Court decision that it is the rummy play, a sort of rummy play is a skilled game, not because the skilled game means the element of chance is less and sort of skill is used. In betting, the element of chance, we do something and it all depends on some future events and it is based on that. In the Indian Contract Act also, the wagering contract is prohibited. Prohibited in the sense that we cannot enforce the wagering contract. Suppose we agree to pay something on the happening of an event and it did not happen. It is purely based on gambling or betting. And if we did not get that money, we cannot file a suit for the recovery of that money. That wagering contract is called wagering contract, that under Section 30 of the Indian Contract Act, we cannot enforce the contract. We cannot file a suit. The court will not entertain a suit for enforcement of a contract that is wagering contract. These are the contours of the subject. But in the state of Goa, as all of you know, the Goa, we got independent later. So the casinos are there in the state of Goa. There are about, it is said that there are 15 casinos are operating in the state of Goa. That is when we got independence, it was not specifically, prohibited in the state of Goa. So that is casinos are working there in both in the luxury hotels and some of them in sea also, in the boat, big canoe, they do the casinos and gambling and all. Yes, various skilled games are there. They say the skilled games, and we can give the money, and if you will not lose money and all. So these are all the betting and gambling. So generally, gambling is prohibited in the sense that there is a chance, and there is now after the commencement of these media, the mobile, now everybody has got the large number of mobiles are used by especially youngsters. They are using. There are various games in the mobile. The youngsters are using these mobiles for indulging in sort of skill, these sort of games, gambling games, and they lose huge money. And here also it was reported that a child, a young child played games. He took away the money of his mother and did not know what he lost a fairly huge money. The money belonged to his mother. So, and there is, it is said that psychologically, there is an addiction for gambling. Those who indulge in gambling, there is a sort of addiction, just as taking drugs, alcohol, or other similar things. There is addiction for gambling. Some of the early, the Dostoevsky's earlier novels and all, you see the Russians were indulging in this sort of gambling, and people used to go. They used to go the moment they get up and finish their morning evaluation, they go straight to the casinos and do the gambling. That is addiction. So that requires to remove the addiction, that requires psychological treatment is required. And sometimes they lose money, and sometimes rich people lose huge money and they become poor. These are all some of the stories connected with this gambling. And in the matter of cricket, it is said that the people, cricket and football also, they bet for which team would win, how many runs which team will take, and all. There is a betting, and there is huge money is involved in this sort of betting, and it is difficult to understand what to police to take any action against. Sometimes it was also suggested by some people that why not we approve these betting in the cricket so that the government will get some money. And these people, it is difficult to prevent them from indulging in betting. And the government, if approve these sort of activities, they can collect a fairly these casinos is a good source of income for the government. They get from these the many tourists come to Goa. It's a place of tourist place. Then many Indians and people from abroad come to Goa and indulge in this betting, and it is income for the state, especially when the mining is prohibited by the Supreme Court in Goa. This is an income for the Goan government. But betting and gambling is both under the penal code and under the criminal law and the civil law. The contract is prohibited in the sense that our laws are based on moral principles. We cannot approve anything which is abhorrent to law, to moral principles. Our laws are based on these basic principles of law and ethics. That is why we don't approve the gambling and betting, and we don't allow the people to indulge in this sort of gambling. If we allow the gambling, the problem is that those who are mature can reasonably indulge in such gambling if it is not very intelligent. They will indulge in this sort of gambling if it is lawful and no court or no act or no police can take any action, and people will lose money. And once they lose money, they will commit crimes for taking money of others, and this is as it is addiction, they will commit other crimes to make money. So betting and gambling is strictly prohibited and we don't approve any such laws. Our laws are based on moral principles, and we don't allow many such the morally violative or law is not allowed, even though a part of it is allowed in most of the countries. If you go to the foreign countries, almost all the either all Amsterdam or any place, there are open places for casinos in Macau or Hong Kong, any place. There is open space for the indulging in this sort of gambling. They are large number of people are, and they are beautifully arranged casinos and all. These in America also, Las Vegas is famous. The various luxury hotels are there. The main source of income is from these casinos. So that is also is popular in other places, and this is a tourist attraction for the Las Vegas. People from all over the world come to Las Vegas in America just to indulge in this sort of betting and gambling. And but in India, we cannot afford how such laws, such gambling, betting, and our laws are based on the moral principles, and we should strictly adhere to them. So these are the main things, and I'm happy that many of the people from the media are joining the conference. They may have vast experience, and they can tell more about the people and the way in which they have this gambling and betting. Thank you, Mr. Amit Goenka, for important in the sense that many people do not know the intricacies and the betting and gambling. Thank you very much.
Justice Saab, what are your views on who decides what's a game of chance and what's a game of skill?
That is a very difficult question. Normally the court will decide, but the court, there are decisions that some of them are these skilled games. Some of them ask by chance. The proportionality of chance is more than it is a betting. If it is a skilled game, less chance and more, then it is, we can say, skilled. If the person participating in this, sort of exercising some discretion and all, it depending on the skill of what is right, what is wrong. He makes use of his intelligence and all. Then we can say he exercised some sort of skill, or in playing card, a skill is used. Then it is not gambling or betting, it is a skill.
This is a very subjective kind of a situation.
Certainly.
Honorable Chief Justice, please understand what I feel is, say for example, there is a horse, kind of a derby going on. There's a derby race going on, and except barring for a few participants who really, are driving the show, most of the thousands of the gatherings, they go there for kind of a adventurous, fun, particular kind of a vacation kind of an activity. The moment they enter, the kind of bets that they place on the horses that they expect to win, I'm sure they have not got any clue on even the names of those horses properly, or the jockeys who are driving those horses. Now, where is the skill element in this? Where is the skill element in this?
But that is also approved by the authorities. That is in a sense. And people, this is a thing, sort of entertainment also. It is so not merely on chance that is decided. So that is why it is approved. It may not come under the Public Gambling Act of 1867. So it's prohibited. There is an act apart from the Indian Penal Code.
So you are saying that the horse derby, horse races are to be considered or are being considered under the entertainment activities and not under gambling?
not it's an entertainment. Of course, if you say strictly, then we may say that it is a gambling, and also element of gambling also there, element of skill is there. So it is there. So it is approved by the authorities. This horse racing is approved. There are persons who have got a large number of horses, or there are people who participate in the horse racing. It is there in big cities.
We were talking about kids stealing money from their mothers' wallets for purchasing games, online games. It's a case which even I have personally faced even just a week back, wherein my own son or some particular online game activity, he has done that kind of an act for purchasing those online games. Now these small little angels, they have no clue where they are getting into. What are your views on banning this kind of nonsense things that are happening in this country?
I think some of these games are banned by Kerala High Court. The High Court can, but the High Court has jurisdiction only within the state. So I heard that I have not come across, I have not studied that law. They banned some sort of the games in these mobile phones. They are banned, and the children indulge in such games and lose money. But through mobile, there are so many other activities that are there, which is not very palatable.
Any suggestions you would have for the central government under the IT Act for controlling and regulating these online games, because they are a menace to the social fabric of this country, according to me?
It is very difficult to ban many of these games because it comes through internet, and we cannot ban internet. Earlier, these pornographic matters were published, and it comes through through internet. There was a appeal to ban it, but it was reported before the court that it is not possible for the government to ban it, because if we are to ban it, we have to do it through the banning internet, which has got great educational value and for everything. Some people make use of the illegal part of it, make use of it. We can only forget just ignore that, and we ourselves educate ourselves not to indulge in such things. That is only. We'll make our children more dutiful and prevent them from doing such things.
Justice Saab, this is a different angle altogether. This is not under gambling. These games are games of skill. Most of these games that kids are playing, these are games of skill, and henceforth they are, getting into it. But the question is, they get addicted to such an extent that they start buying these games online, and then the addiction grows so much that it becomes dangerous for them, not only mentally, but also economically, financially, socially, from all angles, educationally, from all angles. Now, would you suggest that there should be at least an age limit for the games to be commercial, in nature? Because they should explicitly mention that below such and such age, students cannot buy these games or play by buying these games.
It is difficult to enforce such a laws. We shall not give any decision or laws which are difficult to be enforced. We cannot restrict the It's just like fixing a marriage age of to have it. You cannot fix it like that.
You see, Justice Sir, fixing a marriage age has happened. We have 21 years of age for the boys, and 21 years of age has been proposed for the girls also for marriages from 18. Now, if that can be done, why can't we are juvenile, for example, reduced from 18 to 16?
It cannot be enforced. These are all things which are done by individual acts. Individual acts cannot be controlled by any mechanical or lawful. We cannot do. So our eating habits or our entertainment habits and all, they cannot be controlled by external law or force. So
is
if
it not
you cannot
illegal, sir? Sir, is it not illegal to be married before,
what is the use
before
of
21?
declaring it as illegal?
Yeah.
No use in declaring it as illegal because we cannot enforce it. It is all done in the private homes and private houses, in our private rooms. Who will come and guide us?
But if you know,
public activities alone could be prevented.
Okay, individual acts like marriages even below the permissible age, they are not illegal according to you.
They could be enforced because marriage is to be registered. Only marriages registered. All marriages are now under law required to be registered. So the authorities will register the marriage only if the girl and they attains a particular age and boy attains a particular age. So that is why such laws could be enforced. So it's an open marriage is not a secret thing. It is an open affair between two parties and two families in effect.
So, so you are saying that in the case of gaming and, for example, gaming industry, if we want to implement a particular age for commerciability, we cannot make it legal or illegal.
We cannot fix any age limit for these things, and these are not public activities.
Okay, what about online betting? Now, how is online betting different from betting?
Online betting, I personally I do not know what is the how they. I have seen only children doing this online betting and all. I do not know how they work, how they extract money and all. Your account, you have to give your account. Then the moment you lose you are lost in the game. Your account will be through your account. Your money will be lost. That is how they deduct the account. There are so many online fraudulent activities. They take away the money.
Are you okay with the legalization of online betting, like cricket betting online?
It's not a question of legalization. It is not we don't legalize or illegalize or anything. People are doing it. It is difficult to prohibit the online betting and all. Some court can pass orders, but nevertheless, the people will indulge in it. Who can come and can the police come to you and arrest you? So saying that no, these are not done in public gaze. That is the problem.
If we make it illegal, then at least the fear of law has to be there.
So that is fear of law, which authority can these are which authority can enforce that? The law which cannot be enforced is no use in passing such laws. So that is why the laws are not enforced. They are not passing any such laws.
What are your views on prostitution?
Prostitution in many countries, it is prostitution is permitted, but India cannot afford to give permission to prostitution because, as I said earlier, we are making laws solely based on the moral principles. Yeah, that is why we cannot afford to approve the prostitution but in many cities it is said that there are red streets, people, brothels are there, but as it is not approved, the brothels, especially in Mumbai, Delhi and Calcutta and all, it is said that there are the large number of brothels are there. As it is not approved by law, or they are not well organized in the sense that they are not examined by the doctors, whether they are spreading other disease and all. It's not in that sense is not approved once. But we cannot afford to have. I don't think that any government can pass any laws approving the prostitution in India, because the government will be in serious morally violative laws cannot be passed. Then the government will be at the target point.
But then going by what you said, that it's a matter of private and individual choice and discretion. So prostitution is probably the closest when we come to that kind of explanation for exercising but fundamental rights. It's my personal choice, private affair. It's not a public act of any kind of problem. Then why should
it is a public? It is a public place. It's a public place. Prostitution, brothels are public. The people have got access to that those places. If you go to any other country, their brothels are approved by the state. So that Holland is approved by the government. They are to keep a certificate of the doctor. In most of the countries, there are approved brothels, but India cannot afford to have pass such laws.
So you are saying individual, as an individual, can that?
It is not a question of individual thing. It's a public place. Public place. People are no using mobile phones and indulge in this sort of gambling. That cannot be. It is all not created in India. It is all internet from various other countries it comes. If internet is prohibited, we lose because now for India, the entire education system is based on mobile application. So suppose we prohibit, then all these will be inaccessible. Our children will not be able to study anything. We cannot prohibit internet.
So if somebody is exercising individual freedom for prostitution, instead of brothels, going to brothels and all?
There are such things happening in our country. Who is going to take action? Every country it is, every state it is. There are such persons, but it is if it is caught under law, they would be violating Immoral Traffic Act. There is a prohibition of immoral traffic is prohibited in India. They could be charged under the provisions of the Immoral Traffic Act.
So similarly, under destroying the mind and the social fabric, there could be a morality angle for using commercially the games for the small kids. Allowing the games for the commercial for the small kids commercially is also immoral from that perspective.
You can suppose now earlier at one point of time, when the mobiles were a scarce commodity, there were these internet cafes were there. Internet cafes where such cafes we can prohibit. They shall not allow the children to use the internet for these commercial, these sort of games, and that they can. If that is done, that is a violation of law because of. But individually, one child is sitting inside his house and using, making use of the internet, and now there is no internet cafes. I don't think in any cities there is internet. It is all used inside the house. So how can we prohibit?
Can we not prohibit these companies for not allowing kids to play commercially bought games?
No. We don't have jurisdiction over those companies. It is not transmitted from India. It is from abroad. We suppose it is transmitted from America or England or France. Though how can we have jurisdiction to prevent that? We don't have control over those companies.
Because those payments are being made in Indian rupees.
Payments are made because they give the account. They create an account, and from that account the money is deducted by them. It is willingly done by the individual who participate in such games.
So in that case, you are telling me, sir, that companies can go and set up shops outside and then start selling their products in India and do whatever they want.
Yes, certainly. It is not within our control. The all internet, these things come not created in India. India, I don't know whether there are any such Indian companies who make use of. There are Indians also. There's some educational materials are being create these apps, the applications. Various applications could be created by Indians also. It is being done. But the Byju's application is an Indian version, the Wipro, all these ACL, only they have got an Indian version. If they are doing it, it could be prohibited. Suppose it's ACL is having such an application, then of course we can control them. But I don't think that they such reputed companies are indulging in such things. It's also exclusively for educational purposes. They don't have any betting or gambling.
That's a totally different thing. That's a totally different thing. Here the issue is this camouflaging of commercial interest in the name of the genesis of the product or the company which is registered outside India is the basis on which this particular activity is continued in this country. Henceforth,
yes.
The entire purpose of legalizing or illegalizing whatever it is completely diluted if you are not able to control the commercial activities which is for kids below a mature age, say 18, as we define it as. In that case, Justice Saab, it is again, back to square one. It is all eyewash. It is just a lip service. Then we are actually allowing this illegal thing to get into the social fabric, into the nitty-gritties of the social fabric. Is there any solution to this, according to you?
We have no jurisdiction over the companies which are stationed, international companies stationed outside. The laws will extend only within the territory of India. We have no jurisdiction to make any laws to prohibit something which emanate from some other country.
Sir, I think this is a very open-ended kind of a situation. And I hope we can carry on this discussion in another particular show wherein we have some experts who have represented such cases in the court of law. Then probably we'll have a more deeper insight into what are the current scenario in encircling this particular menace, which is getting into the, kind of each and every home of this country, where kids are getting exposed to this gaming thing. They are glued to their mobile phones. They are buying, purchasing things. And there is a financial problem also that the parents are facing. So these kind of things we will probably discuss in our next show. But yes, it was a eye opener for me and for the entire world, hearing it from the former Chief Justice of India as to what betting, gambling, lotteries. What about lotteries? We've not touched about lotteries. You think lotteries are a game of skill?
Lotteries is approved by various statutory provisions. Lotteries are permitted, the Lotteries Act. So that is why the lotteries are the
But does
individual.
does it not lead to addiction?
It is
not an
not
addiction?
prohibited. Lotteries addiction. Some people purchase large number of lottery tickets. that is also there. I don't know whether that is
completely a game of chance. That's a chance thing, nothing else.
But it is.
Then why have you permitted it as the legal, kind of, guardians of our country? How you guys have permitted lottery in this country?
But that is why this separate enactment is there to permit such lotteries. There are various lotteries in various, even private lotteries were there. But is state lotteries are Sikkim lotteries, Meghalaya lotteries, and they are all in the state of Kerala also there are lotteries by the government and the outcome, the whatever money collected through such lotteries are spent for free medical service to the poor people. That Karuna lotteries and all. So that is some purpose is served. That is it.
But then you are in favor, or you think that it is right that such games of chance like lotteries should be allowed by these state governments as a permissible state activity?
Yes, what is it could be, but only thing that technically people are individuals are giving money and it is given to money is collected and it is given to one. We create one capitalist. That is technically all money is collected by various people and given to 1 crore, 2 crores, or 5 crores to one particular thing. And thinking that we will get that money, the people pay 5 rupees or 10 rupees, sometimes 50 rupees. Goes to the extent of 50 rupees per ticket. So when they purchase, then they lose money and somebody will get it. And you and all the UAE, Abu Dhabi, Dubai and all, there are commercial exhibitions. Part of the exhibition, they also have lotteries. But all the lotteries are won by Kerala people.
I'm very confused, sir. I'm very confused as to how come this kind of an activity which affects the entire social fabric, poor people who don't have 2 times meal to eat, they are all hand-to-mouth people. They spend their earnings, whatever little earnings they have on these lotteries.
People, there is no compulsion to purchase the lottery ticket. Why should you purchase? And there are large number of, when the lottery was prohibited, they banned, then large number of people were, the lottery agents were earning money out of selling and they make a livelihood. That is also there. We cannot say completely illegal.
The agents were making money. If the lotteries are banned, then how the agents will make money?
If it is banned, one cannot indulge in lottery, either private party or the state. Now it is not banned.
I feel that the lotteries should have been banned in this country, because then the people who are, taking a chance about winning out of their poor earnings, those people will not fall into that trap of
Yes.
becoming a capitalist.
strictly speaking, it is not morally sound the activity. But some such things are happening in this country. We need not be oversensitive about our moral principles.
Probably I need to be mature more. I need to mature more to understand what you are saying. At this time of my understanding and career and age, probably, or understanding and education, I find it very difficult to accept these kind of things being legally allowed in this country. Guardians like you who have run this country as the legal, kind of guardians of this country, the legal eagles, as we say. If you people say something, definitely there must be more angles to it, then it meets the eye. So look forward to hearing more such experts, including your kind self, Justice Saab. And as always, it is a pleasure to talk to you, welcome you, and always receive you over here. And we look forward to again meeting you on the 23rd. Jai Hind, sir. This will be sent to you soon. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.